Did you know that greeting others is one of the most powerful spiritual acts you can ever perform? In our modern world, greeting people has become increasingly very difficult. Even in church settings, it has become increasingly difficult to find believers greeting one another. And even when they do, it's very shallow or nothing more than a quick hello or how are you? In some cases, they sometimes turn their faces away or pretend they didn't see you. But behind this simple act is hidden one of the most powerful supernatural secrets that most preachers never talk about. In today's video, I will be revealing what really happens in the spirit realm when you greet others and they reject your greetings. But in order to understand the power of greetings, we need to go back to its Hebrew origins. The Hebrew word for greeting is shal, which doesn't just mean to say hello, it literally means to inquire about their peace or to wish you blessings. When someone greeted you in Hebrew culture, they weren't just being polite, they were taking spiritual responsibility. Have you ever wondered why whenever Jesus sent out his disciples to preach, he often instructed them to greet first? Have you also wondered why the Apostle Paul always ended his writings with lots of greetings? It wasn't because they were being polite. They understood a spiritual principle most Christians don't know. There is a spiritual release that takes place every time you greet or receive a greeting. In Luke chapter 10 verses 5 to 6, Jesus sent out the 70 disciples, and he gave them specific instructions about greeting. He said, "And into whatsoever house ye enter, first say, Peace be to this house. And if the Son of Peace be there, your peace shall rest upon it. If not, it shall turn to you again." Notice that Jesus himself said, "When you greet and they respond or receive it, your peace shall rest upon them. But if they reject it or despise your greetings, it shall turn back to you again." Jesus was teaching his disciples that their greeting carried actual spiritual power. The ability to impart peace or to have that peace return to them if it wasn't received. This reveals something incredible. Your greetings have spiritual substance. Every time you greet someone, you are releasing a prophetic blessing over their life. You are speaking God's desire for their wholeness into their spirit. It's a spiritual transaction, a transfer of blessing from your life to theirs. And every time someone greeted you, you also received a dimension of their blessings. In other words, every time you tell someone good morning or have a good day, there is a release of power into the atmosphere of both that person and yourself. Jesus wouldn't have said that if there wasn't some kind of spiritual transaction taking place. So, when you greet others and they don't respond, or they just ignore your greetings, they're actually hurting themselves indirectly by rejecting your blessings. On the other hand, if people see you and pretend as though they didn't, just because they don't want to greet you, don't take it personally. Just go ahead and greet them. It shows that you are at a much higher authority. You don't need their greetings, but just go ahead and give it anyway. If you greet them, it's for their own good. In Matthew chapter 5, verse 47, Jesus said, "And if ye salute your brethren only, what do ye more than others? Do not even the publicans so?" Jesus challenges his disciples to aim for a higher standard of love that reflects God's character. He pointed out that merely greeting those who greet you, like friends, family, or close companions, is no exceptional act of love. In fact, there's a prophetic dimension to greeting that most people completely miss. Every human being is created in the image of God, which means every person carries divine potential within them. So, when you greet someone, you're not just acknowledging their present state, you're speaking into their future. You're prophesying over their day, their circumstances, and their spiritual atmosphere. When you say good morning, what you're actually doing is releasing a good morning blessing over their entire day. Those words of greeting go ahead and adjust their atmosphere for the entire day, opening it up for more blessings. They might go through that day, and things keep working in their favor, and they might not even realize it was thanks to your greetings of blessing you released over their lives that morning. They might just assume they're having a good day. Likewise, when others tell you to have a good day, and you acknowledge it or receive it, Their words are setting in motion for your entire day to go well. It's a very free and easy way for people to give and receive blessings without much effort. But what the enemy does is to make greetings become a chore. Children waking up in the morning and unable to greet their parents, husbands and wives ignoring each other, church members walking past one another without greeting. Although it's not a crime, it's a waste of blessings. People literally ignore and find it hard to greet because the enemy knows that if he can discourage a simple principle as greeting, people will lose out on their free blessings. Jesus didn't just tell others to greet, he himself greeted every single time. After his resurrection, Jesus greeted the women with "All hail," a phrase of joyful salutation or welcome in Matthew chapter 28 verse 9. Again, in Luke chapter 24 verse 36, he appeared to his disciples, and the first thing he did was to greet them by saying, "Peace be unto you." In John chapter 20 verse 19, the Bible also says, "Then the same day at evening, being the first day of the week, when the doors were shut, where the disciples were assembled for fear of the Jews, came Jesus and stood in the midst, and saith unto them, Peace be unto you." Notice that he always greeted every single time before he interacted with others, because he wanted to set the atmosphere right before he began interacting. In Matthew chapter 16 verse 19, Jesus went further to tell Peter, "And I will give unto thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven. And whatsoever thou shalt bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven." This principle of binding and loosing applies to every believer, and it includes the words you speak when you greet someone. When you greet someone with genuine blessing, love, and good intentions, you're releasing heaven's favor over their life. When you greet someone with irritation, indifference, or negative energy, you're binding up the flow of blessing that could come through your interaction. The Greek word for loose is luo, which means to untie, to release, or to set free. Every time you greet someone with genuine warmth and blessing, you're literally untying restrictions and releasing God's goodness into their life. Your greeting becomes a key that unlocks heaven's storehouse of blessings over that person. But here is what is interesting. When you greet them and bless them, there is also a dimension of God's blessings that comes upon you. You also get refilled and refreshed. It is a very cheap and effortless way to get blessed easily, simply by greeting others. In the book of Ruth chapter 2 verse 4, we see Boaz greeting his workers, "And behold, Boaz came from Bethlehem, and said unto the reapers, The Lord be with you. And they answered him, The Lord bless thee." This wasn't just polite conversation, this was a prophetic declaration. Boaz was calling down God's presence upon his workers, and they were returning the blessing. Notice the result of this kind of greeting culture. Boaz prospered, his workers were blessed, and Ruth's entire destiny was changed through this encounter. The atmosphere of blessing that was created through their greeting culture opened the door for supernatural provision, divine connections, and destiny-changing encounters. When you greet someone with "God bless you," or "May the Lord be with you," you're releasing prophetic blessing over their life. You're speaking God's heart over them and creating an atmosphere where supernatural things can happen. Likewise, when they greet you, they release blessings into your life. In biblical times, greeting someone properly was so important that it could take several minutes. They would inquire about each other's health, their family's welfare, their business, and their spiritual condition. This wasn't small talk. This was genuine care and concern for another person's complete well-being. Today, we've reduced greeting to a quick hi or "How are you?" that we don't even expect an honest answer to. We've lost the power of genuine human connection and the spiritual authority that comes with it. But you can change this, starting with your own interactions. When you take time to genuinely greet someone, to look them in the eye, to speak blessing over them, to actually care about their response, you're creating space for God to work in their life through your interaction. You're becoming a conduit for heaven's love and blessing to flow into their world. Imagine if every Christian understood and practiced this principle and became a source of blessing and peace to everyone they encountered. We could literally transform the atmosphere of our communities, our workplaces, and our families through the power of our greetings. But with this power comes responsibility. Proverbs chapter 18 verse 21 reminds us that death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. Your greeting can release life or death, blessing or cursing, peace or turmoil. If you greet someone with irritation, sarcasm, or indifference, you're not just being rude, you're releasing negative spiritual energy that can affect their entire day. If you ignore someone or refuse to greet them, you're withholding a blessing that could change their circumstances. This is why Jesus was so specific about greeting people with peace. He understood that every interaction is a spiritual transaction, and he wanted his disciples to always be on the side of blessing rather than curse. So how do you activate this power in your daily life? Well, first, become intentional about your greetings. Instead of the casual "hey" or "what's up," try greeting people with a genuine blessing. Say, "Good morning, may God bless your day." Or perhaps, "Peace be with you." Maybe even, "May the Lord's favor be upon you." You see, these aren't just religious phrases, they're spiritual declarations that carry power. Second, make eye contact when you greet people. The eyes, they say, are the windows to the soul, and when you look someone in the eye while greeting them, you're acknowledging their worth and dignity as a person created in God's image. This simple act can transform someone's entire day. Third, mean what you say. Don't just speak blessings over someone because it sounds nice. Genuinely desire their well-being. Ask the Holy Spirit to give you His heart for the people you greet each day. When your greeting comes from a heart of love, it carries exponentially more power. Fourth, be prepared for the return blessing. Remember Jesus' words, "If your peace isn't received, it returns to you." When you consistently greet others with blessings, you're creating a culture of blessing around your own life that will ultimately benefit you as well. The person you bless goes on to interact with others, and the blessing you imparted continues to spread throughout their day. So there you have it. Thank you for watching. If you love our videos, please feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel.